had to say.
As a rookie, you just try to learn the most as possible. So right now, there's a lot of information. It's coming like a fire hose, but...
Okay, we're going to start to downplay the Broncos and the Chargers and whatnot and the Chiefs, but then we're going to elevate the Minnesota Vikings who don't even have a quarterback and, the Green Bay Packers who can't get beyond the wildered round. And I don't know. Again, this doesn't really make sense. I mean, I've said this a million times. I told you guys that I am planting my flag and I am planting it early, that I believe in the Raiders to the core, and I am so excited because I do think that they will genuinely be a great team and can really turn this thing around like that. Like, I love every single thing the Raiders have done. They've improved everywhere. Every inch of the field they've improved. Every coaching aspect they've improved. They are just a better team without a shadow of a doubt, and they can really genuinely compete. But we don't have to do it in a way where they now say like, well, I don't know who are the Chargers and who are the Broncos. Like, it's going to be a tough division and these games are going to be amazing to watch. They're going to be absolutely incredible to watch, and that's why I can't wait. But the disadvantage is that Mendoza is a rookie. So Justin Herbert does have an advantage. Botex does have an advantage. Patrick Mahomes does have an advantage. And you do now have to go up against great defenses. And great defenses against rookie quarterbacks is never ever an easy prospect. Ever. The hallmark of a great defense and a great defensive coach is making life absolutely miserable consistently for young quarterbacks year after year after year, game after game. We see that with all the great defenses, with all the great defensive coaches, coordinators, whatever. We see that every single season. Every single season. And so that is what Mendoza is going up against. That's not easy. That is not easy at all. And so it doesn't mean that they're not going to be competitive. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful. Like I'm not saying that, but like this is going to be hard. And the Broncos' offense is legit, and I believe that the Chargers' offense will be legit. And the Chiefs' offense will be like. Those are all teams that, whether you like it or not, like, let's just say elite, good, great. Let's say elite, great, good as the levels, right? Elite is obviously elite, great is great, and good is good, right? Elite the best, great second, good third. At the bare minimum, at the absolute bare minimum, every single one of those teams is at least good at everything. At least good. Not to mention elite in other aspects. Whether it's offense, where that actually falls. You will have to wait and see. So, like, that's tough. That's tough. So I don't want that to take away the shine of the Raiders and what they're doing. And it'd take time to be developed as a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, Colin said that everyone's going back and forth. Mendoza, right? 1 minute he's great, next minute he's not. There's that. I've never wavered. I've never wavered for a second. I absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, not running, not hiding. I believe in Mendoza and the Las Vegas Raiders. I believe in Quebec. I believe in it all. I believe in everything that they're doing. Still going to take time. I remember I had this feeling about Bo Nix especially, and Jaden Daniels. Their rookie year ended up working out well for them both. But those first couple games, especially with Bo Nix, and like that first few games, I was like, boho. I was like, I think I made a mistake. I was like, and not that I made a mistake that I was like going to be wrong about Bo Nix, but I made a mistake in not appreciating that it takes time for a quarterback to be developed, that it takes time. And I was like, I think you overlooked this, man. Because I remember making those videos about the Broncos because they notoriously had a tough schedule to start off against. Tough defenses. It was like on the road against Seattle and Pittsburgh, like it was just tough, physical defenses. It was great defenses, and you're talking about a young rookie quarterback, and it like didn't look pretty, right? And at the time we're talking about that whenever the schedule's released like in May or June and people are like, oh, S is a tough beginning. And I was like, it's not tough. It'll be fine. Bonks will be fine. You know, I'm like, that's Sean Payne and he's going to be ready. And like they weren't, you know, they just straight up weren't ready. And I was like, but they were able to put it together and obviously, you know, get to the playoffs, etc. And so it was just like, you know, and that was like a reminder of like no matter how much you believe in the quarterback, no matter how confident you are in the quarterback, like you have to leave the door wide open for growing pains. And also, like I said, this is something that I've been really locked into for a while now, is just that great defenses just are almost always trouble for young quarterbacks. And that's why when they succeed against those defenses, no matter how bad the team is, no matter what the situation is, it is a huge victory. Like even beating a team like the Cleveland Browns who are terrible offensively, but they have a great defense and their coordinator notoriously just chews up rookie quarterbacks and it's like I saw Jaden Cook and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, that means something that actually means something more than you know, having a rough game, you know, like whatever it is, like whatever other lens you want to look at it. It's like that's actually like a really incredibly important data point and actually to like you know really well. RTH investigating and can be more telling you know a game like that than rolling some bad team or you know losing to a better or more complete team and stuff. It's just like I'm like well how did you do against this defense? Like how composed were you? You know, were you fooled by any of these, you know, defenses, you know, any of these packages, you know, whatever it may be. And so, there's going to be a lot of that data there for Mendoza and the Raiders. There's going to be a lot of, you know, going up against Spags twice. Like, Spags gives Josh Allen trouble, Joe Burrow trouble, Lamar Jackson trouble. He's gonna give Mendoza trouble in his like third ever game in you know in his NFL career, right? So, it's like we have to leave that door wide open for that. That's all I'm really trying to emphasize. And again, I've praised the Raiders at Mendoza like to the absolute maximum. So, that's why it's like I have no problem making a video like this where it's just like, okay, like let's like look on the other side of things for a little bit. Like let's try to like you know bring this down to earth here and really the way how this is set up for me right now is like I expect some struggles and which is totally okay doesn't mean anything doesn't mean like oh see he's not as great as you think and if he succeeds and I'm convinced he will at least a couple of the times when he's going up against some of these tough defenses it'll be further proof of just how legit he is and how great this team will be moving forward, right? And sometimes that is like that is the take. It can't always be they're going to the Super Bowl. They're winning the division. Like it can't always be that. It wasn't even like that for the Washington Commanders who Jane Doe had his, you know, be the best rookie season. And I've already unpacked that in Raiders videos, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think, but it's like they didn't win the division. It's like they didn't win the division. Like it felt like maybe they were close to but like in hindsight they were never actually close to winning the division. You just needed the rest of the season to unfold it in one of the games they won Jalen Hurts got knocked out and it was going up against Kenny Pickett. What's Kenny Pickett doing in the NFL right now? Nothing. So it was like okay congrats you beat them that would have made it even more of a wider margin in terms of like their ability to even come close to winning the division, let alone make the playoffs. So, it's just like, you know, and that's what was so impressive to me that, you know, to actually go back to this whole matchup type thing. Bo Nix playing against the Kansas City Chiefs his rookie year on the road and Arrowhead. That was all the proof I needed. They so lost. It was the crazy field goal, the blocked whole thing. And I was like, Bo Nix was the best quarter. Back that day. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Like, he was and people were like, yeah, but what about this? What about that? I was like, I don't care about anything. That defense is legit. That defense is elite. That Spags is on the road. That was the biggest game of Bo Nix's career. And he shined. He passed with flying colors. It's like that single game alone taught me all. I don't care what happened against the Steelers. I don't care what happened to the Seahawks. I don't care what happened against that team and this team. And it's like none of that matters, 'cause I saw when it mattered most against an elite team, an elite coach. Like I saw what happened. And it's like that landed for me more than anything. And then again, looking for the Raiders, there's, a minimum 3 games where we get to observe that 3 games, let alone 6 and 7, 8. So yeah, I think in a lot of ways the ability for the Raiders to have success, especially if Bendo is the one that's starting, there's a few teams that I really emphasize the order of the schedule. The order of the schedule matters a lot to me, and not just the schedule itself. And really the order in terms of who are you playing in the beginning of the season, and that's what it is with the Raiders. If they have to play some of these divisional games early on in the season, and you have to clearly go up against better defenses early on in the season when Mendoza is like trying to figure it out and trying to work it out, it's like that is stacked against them. That is a legitimate disadvantage. If a lot of these other games are more towards the second half of the season, it's like then it can become game on for sure, but it takes time. It took time even for Sam Darnold to work things out with Clint Kubiak and the Seattle Seahawks, and they went on and won the Super Bowl, right? Like they literally went on to win the Super Bowl, and Sam is an experienced veteran, was coming off a season where he had a ton of success with the Minnesota Vikings, and that took time, and again they won the Super Bowl. So, things take time. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you think Mendoza is the perfect quarterback to lead an NFL franchise? How are you feeling about how quickly they can turn things around? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get to some discussions. Let's get to some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a Thursday MBS up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.